All right. This last week, we spent some time around the camp down in Cape Fair and enjoying the in-laws. Then came back in working on some projects in the shop. All right. Cut the tabs out of this and then sand it up. Just a little bitty thin bandsaw blade on there. And of course, this is what these look like. You know, it's kind of interesting. This design, makes this little square on it, and I have no idea where that came from. And it apparently is in my layout. Maybe, I don't know where it's at. Maybe behind the text field or something. Anyway, I'll go look at that, but I made 3 of them, that box in there. And that'll make them unique for that year. Okay, bye. All right, on this one, as you can see, I had to put a little puck in there. I had to put a little bitty puck in there, and then I filled the gap with some sawdust. Fine sawdust. And I'm going to sand this off and clean it up. We'll see what she looks like here in a minute. Alright, little itty bitty bit of sanding. And you don't want to do too much, just a little bit. And there we go. I'll lightly hit that with a finish sander, and away we'll go. Let's get the other 2 sanded out. Okay, real quick sanding over with probably some 80 grit, maybe 120, and just lightly set them. I've got to be real careful because I can lose my ring and my emblem, and so I'm kind of keeping that down. I'm going to take the brush on the drill press and just kind of clean them little grooves up and see what she looks like when I do that. There we go. You can, if you look at this really closely, you can tell there's a little offset on this emblem, and that comes from making different jigs and not forgetting to center them up. But hey, they still look good, and I don't charge for them, so there they go. All right, after a little cleanup, they start looking pretty good. Get a little soft touch to them, and you sand them in and out. Get all of the little extra stuff out of there. It needs to lightly be sanded with it. Then the top lid with the deal, there she is there. Came out really nice looking, and just do a little hand sanding real quick with some 220 and a little bit right in here on this one here to get some of that glue off there. And there we go. Kind of hard to tell that was just a hole in there, and I just added the walnut through it. So anyway, here we go, and there's Mr. Fuzzy. All right, nice wet coat. I mean, I just sprayed it so it's glistening wet. It'll get a little bit nicer looking here in a little bit. And so there they are. Came out great. Looking good for it. I'll let them dry for 10-12 hours, and then put them in a paper sack and give it to them on when they go through the event a week from today. All right, these came out really nice. I put a clear coat of on them, and it does a pretty good job. I'm sitting there trying to remember what the name of it is. I found that if I spray this over a lacquer coat, that it'll cause it to boil up. But it's a clear glaze, triple thick clear glaze, and it's a good thing to put on slate tiles. But if you put that on top of a paint, like a spray paint, that'll cause that to, boil up on you. So you don't want to do that. But anyway, I had bought a couple cans of it, so the last couple projects I put some of that on there. This is a plaque made for one of the guys. He's getting ready to step down, and he spent 25 years in working with kids, and for the last 5 at Ozark with Ranger kids, and very faithful, and really did a good job. And anyway, it's a little plaque made for him. This is the board, came out of kind of funny, came out of an old shelf, an old shop table that I had made from 35 years ago, 40 years ago, and just some old pine that had come out of it. And it's nice thing about it, it's good and dry, and it's been housed inside for a long time. Anyway, that's just some pieces that I cut down and put it back into use. The projects are fun. This one had that saw kerf in it, and I glued in a piece of I think it's a piece of oak that's in there. Fill that void, and then of course this has a keyhole slot on it. But anyway, it came out good. My Ranger emblem's a little different. That's a 60-degree V-bit. Anyway, this one here is came out fine. The one that I had for Paul Mark that I put the puck in there, you can kind of see it, but it came out really nice looking. And of course it's finished in and out, and nice walnut. So these will be a nice little project for them. And next time I hope that when I cut these, I'll have this centered over here just a little bit more so on the round. That's just from simply moving around jigs, and I just didn't ever change it. I changed it one time, and then I overwrote the jig and redid something, and anyway, so it folded that back in there. But they look cool. I'll just tell everybody, well, now you can hold on to it and be able to see the see. Anyway, project came out good, and we're got these, so it don't take very long to put in text and do a little sanding on them and get them filled in. But I've got several blanks in there for future years, trying to get some of that work done in behind the scenes. We did Firecraft last week, a couple weeks ago, and of course did wiener roast out there, and the boys made fires. And of course there's my matches for powwow, getting stuff out for that, and using batons. These are batons, and of course these are the Harbor Freight knives. These are an old Coleman knife that I bought, and shoot, they've done 30, 40 of these. The boys, they're not a full tank, so they'll break out right here, but they've lasted quite a while. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that's still in there, 6, 7 maybe. And then I went to the Harbor Freight knives and the batons. A little soap in there and get your soda pop boil going.